and welcome to our last session in this story, Goodbye to the Moon. Today we're going to complete answering the questions from the worksheet. Okay, so the first question, how are Kepler and his father different physically? We have discussed this while we were reading the story and we wrote this question. We noticed that his father was a big muscular man, while Kepler is thin and weedy. Weedy, of course, means also thin and of a weak build. Okay, and the other question. What two things does Kepler compare when he says, I was drowned in a storm of voice? So this is when he went out from the space ferry, and he was encountered by the reporters who were making much noise. And he said, I was drowned in a storm of voices. Kepler is comparing the sounds of the voices of Earth people to a loud storm. Compare means to find the similarities. So he's saying storm of voices. Voices of people. He's comparing the voices of people to the storm. Let's compare and contrast between living on or how the living on the moon differs from living on Earth. These are things that we can figure out from the story itself. So on the moon there is no water, and they pay for it. They pay for every single drop. There is no oxygen. Okay, let's look also at the Earth. Here and the Earth there is a lot of water, and oxygen is free. Okay, let us look at number 3. People can't move without spacesuits. Here, people can't move without spacesuits, while of course on Earth there is no special clothes to go out. Okay, number 4. People are light on the moon. People are light in weight because of the low gravity, and on Earth people are heavy compared to those on the moon. Okay, because of the gravity of the Earth. Okay, what about in the middle? What are we going to do? This is contrasting. How to compare them? Compare them to the people on the moon. Earth appears the same as the moon appears to the people on Earth. Very pretty. Here, do you remember when we were talking about what Earth was to Kepler before he visits Earth for the first time? He was thinking of the Earth as this disk in the sky that is waning and waxing every month, and this is the same as people on Earth look at the moon. It's a disk in the sky that is waning and waxing every month. What can you infer about Kepler's character? What can we infer about his character? What can we guess about his character? Let us see. He is a thoughtful and smart boy. Of course, he is very smart. Thoughtful means that he thinks about other people's emotions and how do they think about and he thinks about their feelings. Okay, he was very well. He was nervous about going to Earth, but he realized that Earth will be fun. Okay. The other question, what conclusion can you draw? What conclusion can you draw on the irreconcilable differences between the people of Earth and the Moon? We said that irreconcilable means that these differences cannot be healed or compromised. So what are the conclusion about these things? These differences might be research expenses, and the cost of water, but the governor is convinced that with a clearer understanding of the problems, the differences will be settled amiably. The governor thinks that when he conveys his opinions and talks about the problems of the people on the moon people, to in the on Earth, they everybody is going to understand these differences, and they will be settled amicably, means in a friendly way, or they will find a compromised solution. Look at the standardized test. Number one, it is written. It is a written exercise about the similarities and similarities and differences between two or more people, places, or things. We do this. We talk about the similarities and the differences if we are comparing and contrasting. So compare and contrast. Number two, this refers to a figure of speech that makes the reference between people, places, and the things. So if I'm talking about a figure of speech that makes reference, we are talking about not simile, not personification, not metaphor. It's an illusion. This is called an illusion. Number three, Goodbye to the Moon is an example of what genre? It is, of course, it is a science fiction. Which of the following statement is a fact? If you go on and read all of them, you're going to find that, for example, here we have imagine. It's not scientific fact. If you imagine, anticipate means something that will happen in the future. Okay, amazingly, this is to expressing feelings and the opinion, not fact. Okay, so the only one which is fact is this one. 7/10 of Earth is water. Okay, number five. What is the main idea of the selection? The main idea. Kepler's father is a scientist. He's not even a scientist. Water on Earth is free. This is one of the details. Coming on Earth is different for Kepler. Coming to Earth is difficult. Sorry. Coming to Earth is difficult to Kepler. Maybe. It is easier for people on Earth to move. Yes, okay, so we are going to take this one because it's a stronger main idea of one of the passages. These are all the answers again. Now, I think you are all familiar with this page from the reading booklet. You're going to find here the middle, the beginning, middle, and end. This is how all the stories and the plays of all times are described or analyzed. Okay, so let's look at the beginning. Kepler was traveling to the Earth for the first time, and in the middle, he faced difficulties on the trip to Earth because of the heavy weight during gravity, or because of gravity, and in the end he passed the hard time of the trip and was eager to visit every place he wanted to see on Earth. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much, and see you in the new story. Goodbye.